Did you always want to run your own business? Is this something you wanted to do?
I definitely did from a young age. I always wanted to be a business owner, and I've been very fortunate in the roles that I've held up until having my own business where I ran my department as my own business. But when I was younger, I started working when I was 12 years old.
Wow, really?
And I did every kind of job you can possibly imagine, from working at a Chinese restaurant to working as a snowboard instructor. I worked at a deli. I had a camp my own camp where I helped. It was basically a babysitting camp where I made arts and crafts with kids, and I put an ad in the newspaper, and that's how I generated some kids to join my camp. Um, all different types of jobs that I've always held. I worked in the mall, in a clothing store. I worked as a bartender. I worked as a server. I've always been working. And so I've always been very driven and always been hardworking. And my parents just always told me, if you want a certain life, you have to work for it. And so I've kind of taken that as part of my ingrained culture for myself. And now I'm raising my kids the same way.
Yeah. As I like to say, Jersey strong. Jersey strong.
Yeah.
You didn't happen to work. I also worked I worked at Bloomingdale's. You didn't also work at Bloomingdale's, did you? Or
No, I did. I grew up in northern New Jersey, where it's very country, the area that I lived in. I should say that I live in now, because I moved back after living in the city for a little while, but there was no Bloomingdale's there.
Right.
But it would have probably been dangerous if I did, because I probably wouldn't have saved anything and just shopped the whole time.
I hear you. Well, where I was from in Miami, their air conditioning wasn't working properly. So there was nothing I was looking forward to more than leaving. It was phenomenal.
Oh.
It was in Miami. It was very hot. You have to wear a suit, everything. So would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I would consider myself at times to be an introverted extrovert. And I think that with the last couple of years with COVID has really kind of solidified that description for me. I'm very outgoing. I've always been very outgoing. I love to go to events. I love to go to parties. I love to socialize. I love networking. However, I also am very much a homebody who likes to, just enjoy a glass of wine by the fire and relax and not socialize at all.
Right.
So that's why I say I think I'm an introverted extrovert.
Right. Like, did business, like having to do what you do, have to, like, for example, I hate to bring up this person, but he's such a good example. Bill Gates was probably a huge introvert. Like, he can lock himself in a room for 2 weeks to read something and come out. But because he was running a foundation, he had to learn certain skills on how you raise money, how you get out there. So yeah, when someone's really good at I wanted to see, like, if business had anything to do with your development as a leader and as a business owner.
I think my development as a leader and a business owner has just been from working with other different business owners and other leaders, and just from the experience of working with other people. And, prior to COVID, I was in an office every day. So I didn't really have the option to be that introverted, especially working on the leadership team at a dealer group, as well as having a team that worked for me. So I didn't really have the option. So there's a saying, fake it till you make
Right.
it. And I definitely feel that, when you're in the position where you'd rather just not go out, or, not go to the office, going to that event or going to the office is always the way, I think, that will help overcome any of those kind of objections that you have in your mind.
Right. I'm originally from Miami, and the only thing they do down there is faking it. They're very good at that.
Oh.
So